Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his boy, Todd Baldwin. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I have a controversial statement that I want to dig into because I mean it for two reasons. One is I want to shock people, and two, I want them to dig deeper.
Hmm.
So the statement is, if you are a first-time home buyer today, I do not want you to buy a home today.
Mm.
That probably, and probably if you watch my channel, that should shock you because I'm all about getting on the property ladder. It's the long-term to wealth. So again, I want to peel this apart, Todd. New home builder or new home buyer, first-time home buyer, don't buy a home today. Let's dig into it. What do you think I mean when I say that shocking statement?
Are you just referencing because right now both interest rates and prices are inflated?
Well, there's certainly some of that, but that's not the meat of it. What I'm
Hmm.
really stressing is the word today. I
Oh.
I believe the real estate market has shifted.
Hmm.
And when real estate markets shift, it takes time. We have gone from the most, and I have 22 years of experience. We have left the most crazy sellers market I have ever seen, where you had to, the only way you could win is waive all conditions, name your first kid, and pay 100 grand more. Stupid,
Hmm.
stupid, 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 stupid. I'm talking to the homeowners who've been trying to buy their first home in that environment. I want that person to take that experience, that track record, that negative energy, ball it up in a ball and throw it away. The market is fundamentally shifted. And I want you to start building new experiences. I want you to pretend like today's day one and go
Hmm.
look at your market and research and spend 90 days. Because if your experience is just the last year and you lost out on 17 bids, you're probably going to do something very stupid in a new market that is coming to you. You can get better deals coming than you could have. And that's why I was very clear. Home buyers, first time home buyers, I do not want you to buy a home today. I want you to start the process anew and start learning your market different because if you can, right, some people aren't in the situation they have to buy today. But if you can wait 60 or 90 days, the market's going to come to you. These bidding wars are going to stop. And if you still qualify and you want, because that's a two-step process in demand, you have the power. Last year it was the seller. 60 or 90 days, you have the power. So that's what I'm thinking. What do you think of that roundabout logic?
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely think when the market shifts, well, it already has. Houses aren't selling for 6 and 7 figures over asking right now, and they were just a couple months ago. So I am 100% with you. I do feel for people who are right now trying to sell their house because they had the FOMO, right? They're like, oh, we can sell our houses for a ton of money, and they sort of just missed it. Um, but for buyers, it's going to be great if you wait it out.
Yeah. So again, this is about doing the work, having your criteria. Not again, I want to tell buyers last year you were probably settling, right? You probably had four criteria. You're like, hey, if we get one, I'm good. And oh, by the way, honey, let's go 50 over and name our first kid after the seller and just ridiculous things I heard.
Hmm.
Sorry, the market has changed.
Hmm.
I think the power, at least in many markets, is already kind of in the middle. And I think 60 or 90 days from now, because I think rates are going up. I think lenders are going to get tighter. I think if you still qualify and you still want, you are going to be the thing that is scarce. A year ago, the listings were scarce. Not 90 days from now, it's going to be qualified buyers. Look at our real estate crash in transactions from the first episode.
Hmm.
Existing home sales fell 50%.
Hmm.
Believe me, the buyers who could still do those deals, they had a lot of negotiation power. Don't waive conditions, don't waive inspections, don't rush, and don't settle. It's really annoying when you hear a first time buyer settle. We bought a house that was too small on the wrong side of town and we overpaid. Well, whose fault is that?
Right.
Right? Who made you do that? I get it. It
Yeah.
was the time you got in a competitive and you kept missing and you just did what you did. But congratulations. I want to tell the person who did 12 offers and missed every one, congratulations. I don't think you're going to need to write 12 offers in 90 days. So as long as you have time and you could wait to close in October or November, the time is coming. What do you think?
Absolutely. And I'll say something that may not make sense when you first hear it, but I think if you listen to it over and over again, it'll click. And this is for everybody listening right now. I had a deal where I made, let's see, 130% cash on cash return on a property And when I sold it, I think my initial investment, I think I was up somewhere like 900%. However, the most profitable deals that I've ever done are the ones I walk away from.
Oh,
And that is
absolutely.
because, yeah, I don't want to get in a situation where I do a bad deal. Just like you say all the time, you only make good offers.
That's right.
So, yeah, I think I know it's frustrating for people who are trying to buy, but if you be patient, if you wait it out, time is on your side because sellers are going to start freaking out and then they're going to start making contingencies where they're going to lower their price or pay for your closing costs or do this or do that or whatever. And just wait it out. There's no shame in renting while you're waiting it out.
Oh, I totally agree. I want to be very clear. I actually, because of the crash we're going through right now, I've changed what I'm doing. I don't know about you, but the only way I could buy deals for my portfolio the last couple of years is to be first and fast. So it was first day listings, offers in 7 seconds, just trying to lock it up. I've actually dumped all those searches. I am no longer looking at first day listings. Right now, my search is 15 days or older, days on market. I think in a month, maybe 45 days or 60 days, it'll be 30 days.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so much more patient because I don't have this big engine of 12 employees. I'm one guy who's looking to add 1 or 2 deals, maybe 3 deals a year. I will patiently wait for old listings that aren't perfect, that aren't on the perfect street, and a seller wants out for whatever reason. And I promise you, I will not write an offer at list price.
Yeah.
I don't care if they just had a price drop. I will not be writing any offers at list price. Even if it's a great deal at list, I'm the buyer. I have the power. I am writing under list. It may not be a lot under list, but it'll be something.
Right. Absolutely. Well, and I'd be curious, maybe this is a conversation on the podcast or maybe off air, but
Sure.
I have a property that I've been looking at. It's actually not even a structure, it's just a vacant piece of land. And it's been on the market for 7.5 months. And I think it's a beautiful piece of property. You can build on it. I could build a dream estate. And they want they have it listed for 875 grand. I've already been able to talk them down to 750 grand. And a year-long closing, by the way, because I wanted to make sure I get a building permit in hand. But I wonder what you would suggest I do if I just go in cash today without having that year-long closing. You know, instead of 750, is 500 too low? Is it too much? Is 400 okay?
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. I love scenarios. So I have just one question. Do you know what the seller bought the land for whenever they bought it?
Yes, they bought it back in the 80s for like 80 grand, like
Okay.
78,000 bucks.
And is the owner who has it today the same one, or have they passed on and it's been transferred to a kid?
It's the same owner, and they've tried to sell it a few different times to builders. The problem is you cannot subdivide and build like 6 homes. You can build a very large family estate, which is what I would do.
Yeah, so I would definitely, this is exactly what I told Dion, and this is what I am doing. Again, I do what I say. I would actually write 2 offers. I would write one, like you said, 750 year long, basically everything that you want, they get a bigger number. Then the second number is cash, nothing you want, but you obviously get a much lower number. And I would make it, I'd go, I mean, for a guy like you, I'd probably go 400 grand cash, close in 10 days, or 750 year long, you know, maybe 5 grand earnest money to lock it up. And also I would add must get approved per building permit, or I can walk away and, you know, maybe you keep the 5 grand or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I would do 2 offers, and I would, again, they're obviously much older, right? Cause we've had 33 years past since they bought it. They've had a couple of starts and stops. Land is the first thing to drop in a real estate cycle, because people stop going for it. Not many people have seen this lot forever. They don't even look at it anymore, right? 7 months, it doesn't even hit their radar. It just scans right through it. So I would probably write 2 offers, and I'd be super aggressive, 410 days or 750 in a year.
Yeah. And for anyone who might be confused on like, well, why would you buy something that's on the market for 7.5 months? This is a unique property where the buyer pool is so small because a builder can't go in and subdivide and build a bunch of places. So they're not going to extract the value out of it. And the type of buyer, it's 2.5 acres. It has views of the Puget Sound, which feeds into the ocean in my area. And so the type of buyer who's going to be buying this thing is going to build pretty much a large mansion and a pool and a sports court, and right. And those people are probably, what would you say, maybe 1/10 of 1% of all buyers are going to be building a $2 or $3 million estate.
I would guess there's probably less than 1,000 people within driving distance that would even have the financial wherewithal to do that. And probably more than 80% of them aren't in the market today. That's the whole thing.
Right.
How many people, like, demand is how many people can, right? There's probably 1,000, maybe in Washington, there's 5,000, but can and want to, very different stage of life. They already own stuff. Their RSUs are crashing. Who knows what it is? So, and oh, by the way, the real estate cycle is getting very, very negative. So I would write a cheap ass offer, 400, maybe. Yeah, probably 400. We'll probably put a 4 on it, and 10-day close, or 750 in a year long. And, here's a couple of bucks for earnest money, to lock it up.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Good luck. I wish you luck. Where can people find you?
Yes, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I am at Todd J. Baldwin. And I apologize if you hear the dinging. I'm getting text messages like I do all the time from people wanting to learn real estate, because that's what we do. So anyway, yes, at Todd J. Baldwin on Instagram.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.